Hello students, my name is Amulya. I am an assistant professor of English working with Vidyavahini First Grade College. In today's video, we will be discussing about thrust of English language in 21st century. So what do you mean by thrust? It is nothing but the significance or importance of English language. Did you know we have 7,000 languages on this earth, and among them we use 53 languages, and one among 53 languages which is most spoken is English by both non-native speakers and native speakers. So let us understand why do we need English. Before that, we will understand what is communication. Communication is nothing but imparting or exchange of ideas, facts, thoughts and information. So understand, and language is a tool for communication. Okay? So for example, if I want to communicate my ideas, if I want to communicate my thoughts or information with somebody, I need a language, a common language between both of us or among the people I am dealing with. So one such language or one such tool is English, which is most used on this earth. And let me give you an example. Why should we give importance to English is, it is a lingua franca. It is a lingua franca. You might ask me a question, what is a lingua franca? It is nothing but a common language between non-native speakers. Okay? So for example, I am a non-native speaker of English. My native language is Kannada, or your native language might be Hindi or Kannada or Tamil or Telugu. So if we come across each other, if we want to share ideas or information or thoughts, we need a common language, that is English. And English has become a lingua franca. Lingua franca is nothing but a global language, a common language, a trade language, or a language which is used for the purpose of commerce. Okay? So this is why we need English. And let me give you one more example. As soon as you take up your smartphone or your mobile phone or your laptop, you are knowingly or unknowingly exposed to English, don't you? So that is why you require English in order to understand or utilize the equipment which are being used in the modern technology. You open Google or you open any of the search engines, and you are knowingly or unknowingly, you are exposed to a language called English. In order to understand a concept or understand a topic, you require the knowledge of this particular language called English. And moving forward, let us get to know how to improve your English skills or your communication skills. See, we do not have any shortcut to have fluency over English or have expertise over English. It is all about practice, practice and only practice. You need to get exposed to the language. It might be through newspapers, it might be through web series, or it might be through podcasts, or it might be through English movies. Read books, read novels, listen to the language. As much as you listen to the language, you will be able to know the structure of the language. See, English is quite different from the native languages of India. For example, let us take Kannada. In Kannada, we pronounce each and every word or each and every letter. Okay? So when we take this example for English, English is not so. English has got its own particular way of using it. For example, let me give you an example. How do we pronounce this word? Do you call this to be rendezvous? No, it should be pronounced as rendezvous. Rendezvous is nothing but a secret meeting between people. Okay? So rendezvous has got different pronunciation and different spelling. This is how English is being used. So as and when you get to know the language, as and when you get exposed to the language, you will understand how to use it, how to pronounce it, and what kind of dialect should be used, or what kind of words should be used according to the context. So, get exposed to the language by watching web series or movies or news or even cartoons. You might wonder, why am I suggesting you to watch cartoons? Because, for example, let us take the kids of this generation. They know 3 languages. One is their mother tongue, other one is Hindi, and they are also familiar with English without having the knowledge of grammar. How was it possible? All they did was they observed the language. They watched cartoons. Whatever the cartoons or whatever the cartoon characters uttered, they imitated it. They observed the language and they started imitating it without even the knowledge of grammar. Okay? So, this is a mantra behind learning a language or acquiring non-native languages like English. You observe the language, how it is being used by a native speaker, or what is the grammatical structure, or how you are supposed to pronounce the word. Okay? So, then start imitating it, and this is how we all learned a language. We observed the language at home and then we imitated the same words. Okay? So, this is the only mantra behind learning a language, by observing the language and imitating it. Okay? And you can read novels, magazines and books, other books. For example, it might be books related to your subject, and also read newspaper. You will be exposed to different types of news, and these news will expose you to the vocabulary, the particular vocabulary you are expected to use in this particular topic. Okay? Then listen to podcasts. We have n number of podcasts available on YouTube or on Google or on Wink or on Spotify, and you get many number of podcasts on different topics. See, as and when you listen to the podcast, you will be exposed to, or you will be introduced to the vocabulary which should be used in that particular context. Okay? Then record your voice. See, recording your voice gives you how you are pronouncing a word, or what is the difference between you using the language and a native speaker using a language. Next, think in English. See, whenever, a majority of the time in a day we spend thinking or talking to ourselves. So, whenever you think or whenever you talk to yourself, speak or use English. Okay? This will enable you to how to think in English or how to use this language. Then expand your vocabulary. Expand your vocabulary by using words. For example, instead of telling everybody or telling someone thanks every time, use the word called mercy. Use a phrase called thanks a ton. Use a phrase called many thanks, or your kindness, or the pleasure is mine. Likewise, you have to improve your vocabulary by getting to know the language, or watch videos. There are n number of videos available on Facebook or available on YouTube or on Instagram, and wherein the reels or wherein the people introduce you to different types of words or different types of phrases you can utilize during various situations. And finally, what are you supposed to do? The only normal way to begin speaking in a new language is to begin speaking badly. You do not have to worry about whether it's correct or not. All you have to do is start using that language, whether it's bad or good. You will eventually start learning the language, how it should be utilized in the proper manner it is being utilized by the native speakers. Okay? So, stay tuned for more videos on communication skills.